Guys, we are working on the handsome Lord Farquaad, and we are just coming back in to work on his gums, which we didn't do, and then we're going to move our way down to his little neck area here, then his bandana, his fringe, and then his little legs and feet. So we're going to come in with a beige red to start in his gum area. I'm just going to jump right in there and get her in there. And then we're just doing the light to medium pressure, just filling it in small circular pencil strokes. Okay. And then I'm going to grab, because I believe I put away the colors that I was using for some reason, because I forgot that I still had to do that area. So I'm just going to grab that pink. Well, no. I'm going to keep with what I'm working on here. Keep it a little succinct. Purple pink again. We're not going to put the cinnamon down first. We're just going to come right in with the light purple pink. Right over top of the red beige. Okay. And then we're going to come back in with the red beige. Or beige red, I guess is what it's technically called. Okay. And I'm going to come in with some white just along the ends where it's lighter. And careful to try to avoid that black around it. Don't want to drag that color in there. Edges where the sun is hitting it and making it look lighter. Okay. And then I'm going to grab that purple pink again and just go in along the inside there just to capture it a little bit more deeply. And then we're just going to come in with a little bit of Payne's Gray in that darker area, and we're just going to lightly, very light pressure, darken that area up. Just creating a shadow in there. Come in with that white right over top just to blend it in. There we go. Okay, so now I think we're gonna go right into the orange of the bandana. And for the orange area, we got some different colors here. So let's see what we got, because we got some reds too for the fringe. So I'm just gonna move this out of the way for a second. We have orange glaze. dark cadmium orange. And we also have, for down in the fringe, sanguine, light cadmium red, and Venetian red. The light cadmium red, I believe, is actually for the bandana. So I'm just going to, yep, light cadmium red we're going to use in the bandana in the darker spots. And then we've got I'm going to put this to the side just for now. Then we've got the orange glaze and the dark cadmium orange. Just want to see which one I want to do darkest. Orange. There it is. Okay. So we're going to do a base color of the orange glaze everywhere except for around the little circles that we have because they're going to be white. So we're just going to take that orange glaze and lightly cover with circular pencil strokes the entire bandana minus around those little circles on the bandana. Just up here. We're also going to do a black line in there, but that's okay if we cover up that line because we can easily go over it. Okay, so we're just coming in with with the orange glaze to start, just to give sort of an undercolor. So we have the lightest one down. Okay. Around here. We're just slowly bringing that in. Light pencil strokes, and we're just doing circular motion just to get them into the green there. And I'm just doing around the outside at first, and then I'll come in, I believe, and do the inside part once I kind of have this area mapped out, because the circles are white. Is there anything in the circles? It does not look like it. Okay. So what I might do, trying to figure out how I'm going to map out those little white circles. Okay. Just watch where on the reference photo where there's little upper chest area that's above the bandana kind of goes over the bandana a little bit. We want to still portray that, so we're just avoiding that area for now, and then we'll come back in and do that one too. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is come in just getting this filled in nice, not heavy pressure, just light pressure, just to get sort of the undercolor down. This is again the orange glaze. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is come in with the one color here, and I'm going to mark out the center of it, of the little circles. Slowly filling them in. And then when it comes up around the neck, it kind of changes directions a little bit. lightly filling them in. Okay. And then I think what I'm going to do next is take the light cadmium red and just go around them. I just filled them in with the dark cadmium orange. Really you could fill them in with any of them. I just chose that one because that was the one I grabbed. Okay, so I'm just sort of doing this lightly around it. And it's not going to be perfect. That's okay. We just want to give a semblance that we're creating the pattern that's on the scarf or on the bandana, because you don't want to just omit something that's part of his little outfit. But at the same time, don't put yourself under extreme pressure because they aren't perfect in the picture, because he's moving and he's got, he's got shape to his body. So the shape of his body is going to change the shape of the bandana and how it lays over him, or around him. So it's not going to look 100% perfect. So where I don't have enough room to go all the way around with the little white outline, I'm not worried about that. Okay, just like that. Now I can ignore in that circle and come in with the orange glaze again, and we're just filling in the rest of the background here behind the circles. They're pretty close together, at least how I have them, so it's not like I have to keep going in between them. I just basically had to just do it the one time. And then avoid his little skin areas that come down. Okay, now here they're more separated, so I'm just going to go in between the circles. Okay, so we've got a light base there. And then it looks like, okay, we're going to bring that black in next. And we're just going to do that black outline around, like this is the line that's around here. So we're just going to slowly build that black line up on the bandana. And then you see it again right about here. And then we got another line right here. Again, doesn't have to be perfect, but as best as you can, and that'll come through. Okay. And then we've got right here, we've got a line that kind of swoops in. Bandana's folding, it kind of goes weird, like into the fold of the bandana, kind of like that. There we go. And then we'll do one right here, just to show that area. Okay, and that looks pretty good, actually. And then we're going to come in. Oh, there's another line right here, sorry, on the inside as well. Did not notice that, I almost missed it. Which we will not be able to see here, but then we have the idea of this one. And then we're going to come in with the dark cadmium orange. And we're just going to build up some of the shadow areas. So light to medium pressure, just looking where it gets a little bit darker on the photograph. We're just going to spot in those areas with this as well. So here it's pretty light, except for right along there, right along the inside edge. And then here, there's quite a bit of dark right about like this. Right into here. I'm actually going to do this. Make it a little bit wider and have it come right into here. So we can see that even better. Okay. Up to this line we created here. And we're going to just swoop this back down. putting in medium pressure, circular pencil strokes. The dark cadmium orange, just blocking in the little areas that are more shaded. We're just gonna round this off a little bit since it's rounded in the picture. And then right here, just here. There's a little spot here. Big spot here. Then we're gonna come back in with the orange glaze, and we're just going to light to medium pressure, just go over the whole thing and blend the oranges in together, obviously avoiding the white circles. Trying to avoid that black too, because you don't want to drag the black into the color, into the orange. But we're just sort of blending the two oranges together here on the bandana, where we have the little bit of shadowing. Okay. And I'm going to come in with that light cadmium red. It's going to deepen some of those areas that are a lot darker. You don't have to do this, it's just my choice to do this. And then I'm just going to go in between the circles again and just get them nice and rich and full as well. And again, don't worry about it being perfect. It's not going to be, and it's not supposed to be. It wouldn't look realistic. Okay. A little bit, just to get it a little bit more brighter color. There we go. And then I'd like to get that Payne's Gray in there again. Actually, I'm gonna get the Coal Gray 5. And we're just gonna go along the neckline here and just very lightly at first, circular motions. We're just going to build up where there is shadow. Again, just in the deepest, darkest areas, which is mostly around Lord Farquaad's actual skin. When it gets close to that, that seems to be when it gets the darkest. And then again, right here though, there is a little fold, like a little crease in the bandana where it just bends in a little bit. I'm gonna lightly bring it in at first so you don't overdo it. And we're just gonna lightly bring that Cold Gray 5 in. And then right along here, in that dark gray here as well. It goes right to his little skin here. I'm just going to deepen that up because it's quite dark. Okay, then we're just going to take that orange glaze one more time. We're just going to go over those areas right here that was a little bit darker and didn't blend as well. Here. And we're just gonna grab that black one more time and just touch up those lines. And rich. But it's nice to get that little faded area. Okay, so next what we're going to do is come in with the Payne's Gray, and we are going to fill in some of these areas just under the mouth. So he's got a little dark area there. So just tiny little spots he's got that we're just going to bring in the direction of the fur. It's very faint, but it is there. And we're going to put leave some gray to create shadowing here too as well. We just want to capture some of his little markings that are quite distinct and part of what makes him so cute. So again, Lord Farquaad, you can find him in Pumpkin and Lord Farquaad is a page on social media, and their owners share the lives of them, and they're freaking adorable and cute. Pumpkin just had her 7th birthday party, I believe it was. So I will share the links to them in the description box below. Be sure to check them out. And if you want to join in on this tutorial, you can do so in the description box. Go to the Linktree link that I posted. It should be the link that's second from the top. Okay, so then we're going to come in with, what is this? Warm Gray 5. And we're just going to come right below his chin. There seems to be almost like a pinky gray. So we're just going to bring this in lightly, just faintly going down these little fur marks that are quite a bit darker gray, and they go to right about here. They start to turn, and then they fade off a bit like this, just lightly. And then we're going to come in again with that beige red. That is not the beige red. And it is very faint, but it is there, just like it is around the muzzle a little bit. We're going to bring in the beige red. Again, light pressure. And then build it up. And it just comes around more towards just under the mouth in the chin area. A little bit darker right here. And then I'm gonna grab ivory, sorry. There's the ivory. We're just gonna go right over top of what we just did, just to blend it in and to give a little bit of a light cream undertone, or ivory undertone, I guess. I always call it cream. I don't know why I do that. Okay. And then we're going to have some gray that comes in, and we're going to grab this Warm Gray 5 again. And we're going to very lightly, I'm just trying to map out here, right under his chin, right like that, is quite a bit darker. So we're just going to come in and lightly darken this area up where the shadow is. Light, circular pencil strokes, and we're just building up that gray. Okay, and then we're going to come along the side here, right about... down over these guys, kind of like this, and then down to his little chin, and then right down. So we're going to do the same thing. Light circular pencil strokes, very lightly, because there's no undercolor here, so you want to be careful not to go too heavy on your pressure because it's pretty dark to begin with. And we're just bringing in that shadow. See here. Got a couple little marks here that I'm just very faintly going to put in. Not really necessary. And some little gray hairs that you can see. And they're so fine, you don't technically have to put them in. But it does give a little bit of something for this area that has no color, right? That has, like, that's mostly white by looks. It really isn't just white. It's got little grays through it. And you want to make sure, since this is a little roll, that there is kind of a arch to your little curves there. As I say that, I don't create a big enough one there. And then this one, right along here, he's got some darker gray that comes down, just sort of shoots down. So you're not gonna, have to sit here and draw it specifically like that, but you want to capture the same idea where you're going down. Skin and curls in a little bit and then goes into the brown. So we just want to make sure that area is covered, but very, very gently. So move your hand back further on the pencil if you need to. And then we're going to do just little tiny wisps along the edge here right before the bandana starts, because that is creating another shadow, or another shadow is about to start. And then right here on his little area here, I'm just going to take a little bit of that orange. This is a deep cadmium orange. I'm just going to make this a little bit more circular. There we go. Yeah. Just like that. So it's a little bit more rounded. And then right here, along the bottom, it is gray again. Kind of shoots out a little bit to the side. Okay. And then here it stays pretty dark underneath, but we do have a light gray there, so we do want to just capture that and not leave it white. Okay. So now we've got his cute little fringe to do, which is kind of like browny reds, brown red colors. So what I'm going to do, he has a little, what looks like a little buckle, or like a little leather piece that would be part of his collar that comes out. So we're going to bring that in. At first we're going to do it with, I'm going to bring Bister to the top, but I'd like to come in with a walnut brown, if I can find it. Brown, where are you? Yeah, we don't need that yet. There it is, walnut brown. So it comes down right about in the curl, right about here. So I'm just going to draw this in, and it comes in and over his little leg there, just a little bit. And this comes in quite darkly. So we're going to bring this in. Little arch of how it sticks out. Around like this. And we're going to take that Bister, and it comes up about like this. Down, thinner like that. Okay, and we're just going to fill that into doing the circular pencil strokes. This is the Bister, And then the dark area is a walnut brown. Okay. We're going to come in with a little bit of black just to very faintly, just light pressure, deepen up that walnut brown end. A couple holes in there, but I'm going to get the cream first, or the ivory. Damn, I don't know what it is with me with that. I'm going to go over the bistre. Light to medium pressure, avoiding the black and walnut brown area. Okay, and then we're going to come in with a bit of black. We're just going to darken up this area where there's a light shading right there on the side. And then right along the edge here, there's a little bit of shading, just lightly. And then we've got a little mark here. One here. There looks to be one more right here. Okay. And we're just going to bring that bistre lightly in again, just lightly this time, over the bistre area, avoiding those areas there. Okay, so that looks pretty good for that. Doesn't seem like it's necessary, and it's not really, but I'm just going to take that walnut brown and go around the edge again. But it's nice to add in these little details that poke through, that show you're paying attention to what you're drawing, right? Because if you're really looking, then you see this stuff. Okay. So I just want to see, I'm going to put the bistre away. And the pink. And I'd like to focus primarily on the reds. And keep that light cadmium red out just in case I need it. Put the ivory away. And you might want to use those later. We'll see. So we have got sanguine and what is this one? Venetian red, sanguine and Venetian red. So I'm just gonna look here. Okay, so sanguine is pretty dark, and then where's my Venetian red? A little bit lighter. So I'm going to go over the entirety of the fringe with the Venetian red first. So we're just going to watch here where it goes into his legs. Don't worry about yet, because we're just plotting down the undercolor. This is going to be the base color. And then we're going to bring the sanguine over top. We're just doing those light circular strokes again. And we're going to pay attention to where the fringe ends, because we might want to change it. Again, this might be one of those areas that need to be changed from the what do you call it, the picture that we drew originally. So this comes down, and then there's one. Actually, I'm going to bring this down just like this, because it actually does that. And then bring it in here. Okay, just lightly. More or less just mapping in where we want everything to go with the Venetian red. Okay, so then we're going to take this, and there are 2 or 3 that come down off of here. So it comes down right past the leg for the first one. Here, And there is a little shadow, so we're just going to block that in. There is another one that comes up like this and down, and it is it's about the same as this one. Look up. This. So that's not perfect by any means, but another layer of them here. One. And then another one here kind of comes down on a point. One there. Okay, so that'll be good for those. So I'm just going to block those in as well. Again, they don't have to be perfect with the picture. Mine certainly is not, but you want to get the idea is if you try to get it as close to the picture as you can, then it looks a lot like the picture 9 times out of 10, because you're actually making an effort. You weren't just making random lines. You're actively trying to make it look good. Okay, and then we're gonna come down this side. Little shoulder is here. Okay, so we've got down just like there's his leg there. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this down. Watching the reference photo more than anything right now, and we're just gonna fill this little area in with the Venetian red. Again, this is just the undercolor. Okay, and then we've got some brown that comes right down to here and comes up all the way across like this. So we're gonna bring that in as well. Little fringes that come down thickly at the top and then taper pretty thinly. And this one comes down sort of on arch right there. And here, it kind of comes underneath. Comes down like this. It comes down here. Just want to make sure I capture him too. And one that kind of comes tucked into this like that. Okay, so it looks weird at first, but there is a method to my madness. And we're just gonna block these guys in as well. Okay, and then we're gonna bring the sanguine in. We're gonna see how it looks right over top of this area here. Okay. The walnut brown. Where are ya? I'm just gonna lightly go right over top. Okay, don't like that. So let's get the burnt sienna. Okay, there we go. That's much better. Okay, so we're just going to take this, and instead of coming out with the sanguine, we're going to go over the entire thing we just did with the burnt sienna first. Light to medium pressure to get it to blend in there. Make sure I get to the edge of the scarf. And then we're just going to look to see where the darker areas are. And that's where we're going to come in with the sanguine. That's the Venetian red. So we have a darker area right here, which we cannot see. So I'm going to bring in, I'm going to ignore that for now. Okay. So what I'm going to do is instead, I am going to mark in the sanguine lightly over top of the Venetian red everywhere. I thought I was going to use it for the deeper red spots, but I'm not because it's not going to show. So we are just going to do it just like this and bring the walnut brown over top. Is the way you want, and we're going to block them out more separately when we bring in the shading lines. For now, we're just sort of blocking them in and deepening the red color to more of like a orangey red. And then we'll come in with the burnt sienna over top, and then we'll mark it in even darker with a gray or with black. We'll see. So for now, we're just filling in light strokes because it's pretty pigmented with the sanguine over that Venetian red we first laid down. Just careful to get not into the orange of the bandana, but make sure you're up there with it so you're not leaving a white line trying to avoid it. Okay. And then this comes like this. Then we've got one here. Okay, got another one here. Okay. Then we're just going to come up here and bring it all the way down. And we're going to get that burnt sienna. Make sure that's what we got. Yep. And we're just going to lay right over top of that with a medium pencil stroke. We're just going right over top of the Venetian red and the sanguine. Again, we're not creating any definitive lines in terms of like shading or anything yet, or definition. We are detail, we're just blocking it in the color to get sort of that brownish, reddish sort of fringe that he's got going on. And then we'll come in and darken it up in certain areas and create those details that he has specifically that, you know, mark out where the fringe is, each separate piece of fringe more clearly. It's just light to medium pressure, filling that in. Blocking in the fringe on this side. We're almost done because after this, we literally just have a little tiny bit of the legs and the feet to do. Now the feet aren't actually fully showing in the photo, but they are on my page. So we're gonna work with that as best as we can. Okay, just bringing this last little bit of burnt sienna around here. Okay. And then we're going to bring in some, I believe we're going to bring in some, no, I don't want to do that. What? Mortem. Pepper mortem violet, but I don't at the same time. Do you need some black along the bottom? For sure. Why don't we bring in some dark sepia instead, and then we'll use the black as well, because some of the areas are like distinctly black and other areas are just got a little bit of shading, which is just, you know, where the light's seeing. It's like farther up here, it's a lot lighter. So we are going to start here with the dark sepia, and we're just going to see there's a little line here. I'm just going to lightly bring it in with those circular pencil strokes and just slowly build it up the pressure, because we want it to be fairly faint so it looks natural. There's a line right here. Under here it gets quite dark. Right into the black. Under here. And then we're going to ignore those areas because they're going to be black. And then we've got quite an area here in between the orange here. And then we've got a line that comes down here, one here. The front of some of these guys, it does get darker, so we're going to bring that in too. Just where it tends to get a little bit darker in certain spots. We're just going to grab that and put them in. And just check on this side. It is a little bit darker. We'll leave that one. Come in with the black. This fringe turns into black right about here and comes down in between these two. That one. Not to be perfect, but and so it turns out we're just going to bring some black down from the bandana here. This one will be pretty dark. Around here, pretty dark. Here. Then we've got here. A brown shadow right here. Here. the orange into the red a bit. What we're gonna do is we're going to bring in some gray. And I'm gonna take that dark sepia again, and we're going to bring it down right here. There is an area, it's very light. We can see where it turns into his little chest, and it's quite dark. Like this onto his leg. I'm gonna actually switch. I'm gonna switch to the warm gray 5. And then he's got another little spot there that comes down up to here, but then it's light, light circular pencil strokes just around here on either side. We're just gonna build this gray up a little bit thicker. You see some very faint lines. I'm just trying to see where this little leg line is that I created. You can almost not see it. Little stripes. This is where the shadow's hitting his leg. And then he's got a little muscle on his ankle right here that comes across. It's quite thick at the bottom here. So we're just doing tiny little circular pencil strokes just to start blocking the leg a little bit, and then we'll lighten up certain areas that need to be lightened, and then right around here it comes over to here. Little dew claw looking thing right here. Out this lightly. Toe. And here. That burnt sienna, and we're just gonna lightly go in between the toes, right over that gray, because it does have sort of a ruddy brown tinge to that area. We're gonna bring a little bit of gray again, just into the side of the foot. There is the little dew claw, so we're just gonna bring it in right about here. And come out. Get a light, we're gonna get cold gray 2 and go over the foot here where it's shaded. There. Here into this toe. Okay, and then we're gonna grab that nougat. can do Bister. Okay, so we're gonna take the Bister. We're gonna create little toenails. Oh. Tangles the arch here that goes over top of the toe, like that. Here. I am aware of that, but we're going to come in and fix those as we go. So then we're going to come in again with the gray, and we're going to, actually, you know what I'm going to do first? I'm going to come in with the ivory, and we're going to lighten up a little bit. In with our eraser pencil and just get rid of the little toenail line marks because we won't need those now. If they don't come off entirely, it's okay, we're just lightening them. I'm gonna come around them with gray. There we go. Because we don't want them totally gone, but we just want them lightened up. And then I'm gonna come in with that coal gray too again, right over the little nailies and fill them in. In with that gray, the warm gray 5, and just go over the edge of the toe just to give it that depth of wear around the toenail. I don't have a gray here, so we're going to get rid of this line because we no longer need it. We got the little toe mapped in. And then we don't have a line there, so that's perfect. Okay, so then we're going to come in with, let's see here, cold gray 1, and we're going to cover the entire foot, going right over the grays, going over all of the colors, and just blending them in with a light to medium pressure, avoiding the oranges and the reds above it. Just light circular motions. R. Okay. Burnt sienna. Is okay. And then we're going to come in with the white and go right over top of that. What we just did. And it's sort of like a burnishing in a sense. Just blend it all in one last time. And soften up the colors of the legs. Up at that edge there. Okay. And then we're going to take our eraser pencil and just lift out some of the areas where it is distinctly white, like on top of this toe. I'm just going to give it a little mark. And then right at the edge of this toe. And then right here on his ankle, where it starts into his foot. And then there is a nice little white area right in here. Up, so I'm going to grab that and just like that. Circular area right in here. Okay. One foot. Now we're gonna go to the other side. Now this side stays pretty white, so we're gonna come in with just the cold gray one and just lightly fill that area in at the side of the leg. And then I'm gonna grab my eraser pencil and erase that line. Okay, and then we're gonna come in with that white right over top of the cool gray one. Just blend it in, trying to avoid those reds there. And then we're gonna grab the the cool gray 2. We're gonna come down the leg and we're just mapping out the foot at first. Okay, so he's got a little toe that comes out like this. Sort of like that. And then he's got a round one that comes out this way. And it's got quite a dark little circular spot here. Got this guy, which again is quite big. And he kind of goes like this. In between his toes. And we got this cute little rounded toe right here that comes down, and then the little dew claw right here that we want to capture. And then it comes straight up. Okay, so we're just going to erase those lines that we no longer need. And then we're going to come up. We're going to do the same thing where we take the burnt sienna and just come in lightly in between the toes. Color there, just faintly. Just a tiny little bit right here. And then we'll come in and do the toes with the ivory. See if we can do them without laying any brown down. Yeah, we're gonna need it. Okay, so we're just gonna come in lightly and fill the toes in, the line of the toe with the burnt sienna. And then this toe right here. Area right here that's darker. It's quite a bit darker here. Right here. Come in with the cool gray 2. Fill those here and just fill in those areas that are shadowed. Mark here and right here on this toe here, on the toe like this, quite dark here. Actually, it looks like it goes all the way up, and then there's a line right here. So we're just gonna come in and lightly fill this in with the cool gray 2. Trying to avoid those orangey red areas as best you can. And then paint line right here across the foot. The little dew claw stays white. And then there is very faint, where is the cool gray 1? Cool gray 1, we're just gonna fill in the faint shadow that's right here. comes right to the toes. Eraser pencil and knock out these brown toes like this. Just lighten them and come in with the ivory. Take some of the warm gray 5 and just go with the hairs over the toenails and where they come up. Definition and depth. Okay. In with the white again and go over the whole shebang just to blend it in and lighten it up. Light to medium pressure. Avoiding those oranges and red colors there as best you can. Okay, and we're gonna come in with the white, with the pencil eraser. I'm just gonna watch for any lines we have there and just take them out. Okay. We've got a little has white there. There's a little bit of white here. Looks like Mr. Lord Farquaad is finished. Make sure we're done. Okay, let's see Mr. Lord Farquaad. There he is. Please make sure you're sharing what you create as well. Here's Mr. Lord Farquaad. Cute. Just adorable. Make sure to check out their links in the description box, and we should all be following them because they're adorable. Him and Pumpkin are just too cute. But again, if you want to take part in this tutorial, again, in the description box, there's a Linktree link, and it is the second from the top. And you can get to learn how to draw Lord of Farquaad as well. All right. Thanks, guys. Take care.